Hi, I'm doing this podcast for ECJ 413 for the Week 9 prompt. And I just want to discuss the idea of this new literacy pedagogy that's coming into our education system and the change that's happened from the old ideas about literacy, because literacy and literacy text has traditionally been really print focused, and print media has been really valued in our education system for a long time. And so now in education we're starting to have this new idea coming through that, well, print media is important, but we also need to start incorporating into our education the idea of multimedia and multimodal forms of communication that our students are experiencing in their life worlds every day. It's undeniable that technology has become a part of our lives, and we can't deny that. So our students, to be effective members and active members in the future, they're going to need to be familiar with technology. They're going to need to be aware of what's out there and how they can communicate through different mediums, such as web pages, blogs, animation, videos, music, all these different text types that students need to be able to express themselves through. And they also need to be able to not only be aware of what's out there, but also be able to critically analyze the information that they're receiving from these different sources, such as advertisements and packaging and magazines and websites and the internet and news sources, so that we're building within them the idea that they need to look at who's telling the story, what biases does that person have, what are they communicating, what's their message, what's the meaning behind their artwork or their text that they're using, why have they chosen this particular medium to communicate. And by doing this, children become aware of what's going on and aware of these strategies, so that they can start recognizing it, and they're not going to be suckered into advertising ploys, which is really important. We want our students to be informed citizens. We want them to make choices built on educated understandings of things. So we need to, an important part of that is technology, because in the future it's just going to become more and more a part of their lives. So why not, as educators, start introducing the use of technology at an early age? Why not bring in things that they're already using every day into the education system? But part of this problem is that there's still a bit of a resistance to doing that. Our education system today still upholds the traditional model of print media being valued more highly than multimedia expression. So that's a real challenge with the new literacy pedagogy, that we are being, as pre-service teachers, we're being challenged to step up and be on the cutting edge and be innovative by using technology in our classrooms, so that we're at the forefront of policy. And Chris was talking about this in his lecture, that a lot of the time students will just surprise you so much with what they already know about technology. A lot of them already know about web page design and things that the teacher probably doesn't know, because we were brought up in a different time when, the old way of looking at literacy was still really dominant. So as teachers, we need to take this on board. And that can be a bit challenging, because it's putting ourselves out of our comfort zones, and we're constantly needing to update our knowledge and really be innovative and creative in how we teach our kids. But also, we're having to give away some of our power. We're not the dictators anymore. We need to be the facilitators of their learning. They need to be the ones creating and experimenting and challenging the status quo. And we, as teachers, get the privilege of watching them do it, which is so exciting. And I think, as we were talking about before, just the idea that this is making technology become part of their education. It's making education relevant to their needs. It's equipping them for the future. It's recognizing that all different types of expression are valued, I personally find it really exciting because I can see all the potential and the possibilities that are out there, but I also find it a little bit daunting because there's a lot that I don't know about technology, and there's so much to learn, and with all the technology coming out, it is hard to keep up to date and find sources which tell you how to use different technologies. So as a teacher, it can be a bit daunting not knowing everything and really taking on board a lot from your students. But I think that's also really exciting because then we become a community of learners rather than the teacher being in a position of power and dictating and not being challenged. So I think it's a positive step forward, and I'm looking forward to the future of teaching and trying to incorporate what I've learned through this unit into my own teaching practice, even though it sounds a bit scary. But I was able to do this podcast. It's my first time ever, so hopefully all the other types of technologies are just as easy to use, and I look forward to using them in the future. Thank you for watching this podcast. I hope it comes through okay. Thank you. Bye.